Have you ever felt anger rising like a wildfire, consuming your emotions and leaving you powerless to control it? In those moments, it might seem like the entire world is against you, pushing you to react quickly, almost instinctively, just to protect yourself. But have you ever stopped to ask, are these reactions helping you, or are they hurting you more than anyone else? In today's fast-paced world, where pressure and stress surround us at every turn, staying calm has become a rare and invaluable art. But imagine for a moment that you could learn to channel your anger, not suppress it or let it control you, but turn it into a source of strength. How much more empowered would your life be? The philosophy of Stoicism offers a clear path to mastering this art. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, not only ruled a vast empire, but also mastered his own mind amidst relentless challenges. The principles he lived by aren't just for philosophers, they're for anyone seeking peace and resilience in a chaotic world. I believe that anger isn't our enemy, it's a signal. It tells us what we value and what is conflicting with those values. But instead of letting that signal dictate our actions, we can use it as a reminder to return to our calm center. Picture yourself standing firm, unshaken by insults or challenges, facing life's storms with an unwavering smile. How powerful would you feel? Think of a flowing river. When strong currents meet a massive rock, the water doesn't rage against it or try to push it aside. Instead, it bends, gracefully flowing around the obstacle, continuing on its path. In the same way, we don't need to break every barrier in our way, we only need to learn how to face them wisely and flexibly. When faced with anger, will you respond like a calm, flowing river, or will you allow your mind to become turbulent, overwhelmed by the storm? Let's dive into 7 practical principles from Stoic philosophy that can help you regain control of your emotions. Step by step, you'll uncover the keys to true inner freedom and lasting peace. Step 1. Embrace the flow of life. A Stoic path to inner peace. Life is a journey filled with unforeseen twists, unexpected challenges, and moments of chaos. Often, we resist these changes, yearning for control over circumstances beyond our grasp. But what if the secret to peace lies not in control but in acceptance? Embracing the flow of life, as the Stoic philosophers advised, offers a path to resilience, wisdom, and clarity. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of Stoicism's greatest thinkers, wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This profound insight encourages us to shift our mindset from resistance to acceptance. Rather than exhausting ourselves in a futile battle against the inevitable, we can learn to align with life's natural rhythms, finding strength and serenity in the process. Acceptance is often misunderstood as passive surrender. In reality, it is an active practice of acknowledging life's realities while choosing how to respond. When we resist what cannot be changed, whether it's an unforeseen delay, a harsh word, or an unexpected loss, we create unnecessary suffering. Conversely, embracing life as it unfolds empowers us to focus on what truly lies within our control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Take a common example: traffic on your daily commute. You could clench the steering wheel, curse under your breath, and arrive home agitated. Or you could use that time to reflect, listen to inspiring podcasts, or simply breathe deeply, transforming frustration into an opportunity for growth. Imagine standing in a strong current. Fighting against the water's flow leaves you tired and defeated. But if you let go, allowing the river to carry you forward, you conserve your energy and open yourself to new possibilities. The river doesn't stop moving, and neither does life. Learning to flow with it, rather than against it, is the essence of this Stoic principle. How to embrace life's flow. 1. Pause and breathe. When challenges arise, resist the urge to react immediately. Take a deep breath and ground yourself in the present moment. 2. Ask empowering questions. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" or "How can I grow from this experience?" 3. Focus on your response. Recognize that while you can't control external events, you have full authority over how you choose to respond. How much of your energy is spent resisting things you cannot change? What might shift if you embraced life's challenges as opportunities for growth? Embracing the flow of life is just the beginning. Once you master this principle, the next step on the Stoic path is understanding others and their nature. By learning to see people as they are, not as we wish them to be, you'll unlock another layer of inner peace. Step 2. Understand the nature of others, a key to inner peace. One of the greatest sources of frustration in life is our unrealistic expectations of others. We often hope people will act, speak, or think in ways that align with our ideals. When they don't, we feel disappointed, hurt, or even angry. But what if the root of this frustration lies not in others, but in ourselves? Stoic philosophy teaches us that understanding human nature is essential for maintaining inner peace. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "When someone wrongs you, recognize that they are acting according to their own nature. Can you expect anything different?" This principle invites us to let go of unrealistic expectations and see people as they truly are, imperfect, flawed, and human. By doing so, we free ourselves from the constant cycle of disappointment and cultivate empathy, patience, and resilience. When we expect others to behave a certain way, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Each person is shaped by their upbringing, experiences, and beliefs, which may differ vastly from our own. Accepting this reality doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means recognizing that their actions reflect their nature, not an intention to hurt us. Imagine a colleague who frequently interrupts during meetings. Instead of feeling disrespected, consider that they might not even realize their behavior is disruptive. By shifting your perspective, you can address the situation calmly without letting anger take control. Think of people as mirrors, reflecting their inner world through their actions. Some mirrors may be cracked, others cloudy, but each one shows a unique perspective. Expecting a cracked mirror to reflect perfectly clear images only leads to frustration. Understanding this metaphor helps us navigate relationships with greater acceptance and compassion. Practical steps to understanding others. 1. Pause before judging. When someone acts in a way that frustrates you, pause and ask yourself, what might be influencing their behavior? 2. Practice empathy. Try to see the situation from their perspective. What might they be feeling or thinking? 3. Adjust your expectations. Remind yourself that no one is perfect and everyone is navigating their own struggles. 4. Focus on your reaction. Instead of trying to change others, channel your energy into choosing how you respond. How often do your expectations of others lead to unnecessary disappointment? What would happen if you accepted people for who they are, rather than who you want them to be? Understanding the nature of others is a transformative practice, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. The next step in the Stoic journey involves setting clear boundaries to protect your peace, while nurturing healthy relationships. By mastering this, you'll take another step toward emotional freedom and lasting calm. Step 3. Set clear boundaries. Safeguard your peace and strengthen relationships. In life, we often feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or even angry, not because of what others do, but because we fail to set clear boundaries. Boundaries act as invisible fences, protecting our time, energy, and mental well-being. Without them, we open the door to chaos, resentment, and emotional fatigue. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of protecting one's inner peace. Guard your inner citadel as if it were a fortress, and let no one breach its gates without permission. By establishing firm boundaries, we don't just protect ourselves, we create healthier, more balanced relationships. Clear boundaries communicate respect for our needs and encourage others to honor them, fostering mutual understanding and trust. When boundaries are absent, misunderstandings and conflicts thrive. People may unknowingly overstep, not because they intend to harm us, but because we haven't communicated what is acceptable. Setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's an essential act of self-care that ensures we can show up as our best selves in all areas of life. Imagine a friend who frequently demands your time, leaving you feeling drained. If you consistently say yes to avoid conflict, resentment builds. But by gently asserting your limits, "I'd love to help, but I need time to recharge," you honor your needs without damaging the relationship. Picture your mind as a grand castle. Without strong walls, anyone can wander in, disrupting the harmony within. Boundaries are the sturdy walls and gates that allow you to decide who or what enters your space. Maintaining these walls doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means ensuring that your inner peace remains intact, even as you interact with the world. How to set and maintain boundaries. 1. Identify your limits. Reflect on what drains your energy or causes discomfort. Knowing your limits is the first step to protecting them. 2. Communicate clearly. Express your boundaries calmly and respectfully. For example, I can't take on this task right now, but I'm happy to help later. 3. Stay consistent. Once a boundary is set, honor it. Inconsistency sends mixed signals and undermines its effectiveness. 4. Be prepared for pushback. Some people may resist your boundaries, especially if they're used to you saying yes. Stay firm, knowing that this is essential for your well-being. How often do you let others dictate your time and energy, simply because you're hesitant to say no? What would change if you prioritized your boundaries and peace? Once you've set clear boundaries, the next challenge is recognizing that your emotional reactions are within your control. Understanding that anger stems from our own perceptions, not external events, will unlock a deeper level of freedom and resilience. Step 4. Recognize that anger stems from your perception. We often blame others or external events for our anger, a rude comment, an unfair decision, or a simple misunderstanding. But the truth is, anger doesn't originate from the outside, it comes from within. It's not the event itself that makes us angry, but how we perceive and interpret it. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, put it simply, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight is transformative. It shifts the power from external forces to where it belongs, within you. By understanding that anger is a choice rather than an inevitable reaction, you take the first step toward emotional freedom. Events are neutral by nature. They only take on meaning when we interpret them. A spilled coffee is just a spilled coffee, until we decide it's a symbol of a bad day. A harsh comment is just words, but our mind turns it into an attack on our self-worth. For example, imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first instinct might be to fume at their carelessness, but what if you chose a different perspective? Perhaps they're rushing to an emergency, or simply made a mistake. By shifting your interpretation, you instantly diffuse your anger and regain control. Think of your mind as a camera lens. The world is the same for everyone, but the way your lens focuses determines what you see. If your lens is clouded by negative perceptions, every situation feels hostile. But when you clean that lens, choosing to view events with clarity and calm, you open yourself to a world of understanding and peace. Practical steps to shift your perception. 1. Pause and reflect. When anger arises, take a moment to pause. Ask yourself, am I reacting to what happened or to my interpretation of it? 2. Challenge your thoughts. Replace assumptions like, they meant to hurt me, with possibilities like, maybe they didn't realize. 3. Practice self-awareness. Pay attention to patterns in your thinking. Are you quick to assume the worst? Catch yourself and consciously choose a more balanced perspective. Seek the lesson. Instead of dwelling on the frustration, ask, what can I learn from this situation? How much of your anger stems from reality and how much from the story you've created in your mind? What would change if you rewrote that story? Understanding that anger arises from your perception is liberating. It gives you the power to choose calm over chaos. As you master this skill, the next step on the Stoic journey is cultivating compassion. By seeing the struggles of others, you can respond with empathy instead of frustration, strengthening your inner peace even further. Step 5. Cultivate compassion. The antidote to anger. When someone behaves poorly, whether through harsh words, selfish actions, or disregard for others, it's natural to feel anger or frustration. But Stoic philosophy offers a transformative alternative: compassion. Instead of seeing others as adversaries, we can choose to see them as individuals struggling with their own challenges, just like us. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "Whenever you are about to criticize someone, pause and consider. They are acting based on their own understanding. Can you be surprised that they act according to their nature? By practicing compassion, we don't excuse harmful behavior, but we free ourselves from the destructive grip of anger. Compassion allows us to recognize the humanity in others, even when their actions are flawed. Most people aren't intentionally trying to hurt us. They're acting out of ignorance, fear, or personal struggles. By shifting our perspective to empathy, we not only maintain our inner peace, but also strengthen our relationships. Imagine a colleague snaps at you during a meeting. Your initial reaction might be anger or defensiveness. But what if you paused and thought, perhaps they're overwhelmed with stress or dealing with a problem I don't know about? This shift in perspective changes the interaction entirely, replacing conflict with understanding. Picture a weary traveler carrying a heavy load up a steep hill. Their exhaustion makes them irritable, and they lash out at those nearby. Would you respond with anger, or would you feel compassion for their struggle? Each person you encounter in life is carrying their own invisible burdens. Seeing them as struggling travelers rather than opponents allows you to meet them with kindness instead of frustration. How to practice compassion in everyday life. 1. Pause and reflect. When someone's actions upset you, pause and ask, what might they be going through that I don't see? 2. Separate the person from the action. Dislike the behavior, but don't condemn the person. Recognize that we're all capable of mistakes. 3. Respond, don't react. Instead of reacting with anger, respond calmly. You might even offer help or support if appropriate. Practice gratitude for your own growth. Remember, the compassion you show others is also a gift to yourself. It reinforces your inner strength and peace. What if the next time someone wronged you, instead of reacting with anger, you responded with compassion? How might that change the dynamic of your relationships and your sense of peace? Cultivating compassion is a powerful tool for diffusing anger and fostering understanding. Once you've embraced this practice, the next step on the Stoic journey is learning to let go. By releasing resentment and choosing forgiveness, you'll unlock an even deeper sense of freedom and inner calm. Step 6. Choose to let go. The art of releasing resentment. Holding on to anger is like gripping a burning coal. You're the one who gets burned. Resentment weighs us down, clouds our thoughts, and robs us of inner peace. But here's the empowering truth. Letting go is a choice, and it's a choice you can make today. Seneca, one of Stoicism's greatest minds, aptly said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Pause, reflect, and ask yourself, does this truly deserve my peace? By choosing to release resentment, you reclaim control over your emotions and free yourself from the invisible chains of anger. When we hold on to anger, we often believe it gives us power or justice. In reality, it does the opposite. It drains our energy and keeps us tied to the source of our frustration. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or excusing harmful behavior. It means refusing to let it dominate your thoughts and dictate your happiness. Imagine a disagreement with a close friend. You could replay the argument in your mind, feeding feelings of betrayal and anger. Or you could acknowledge the hurt, decide to move forward, and preserve the relationship. Letting go is less about the other person and more about freeing yourself. Picture yourself on a long journey, carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a grudge or resentment you're holding onto. The longer you carry the weight, the more exhausted you become. But when you choose to remove the rocks, one by one, the journey becomes lighter, and you rediscover joy in the path ahead. Letting go is like unloading that backpack. It's a gift of lightness and freedom you give to yourself. How to practice letting go. 1. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't suppress your anger. Instead, recognize and name it. Ask yourself, why does this hurt me? What am I holding on to? 2. Reframe the narrative. Shift your perspective from blame to understanding. What can you learn from the situation? 3. Release the need for retribution. Accept that you can't change the past or control others' actions. Focus on what you can control, your response and growth. Practice forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from its hold. Remind yourself, Forgiveness is for my peace, not their pardon. What grudges are you still carrying, and how much lighter would your life feel if you chose to let them go? Letting go is a powerful act of self-liberation, but it doesn't happen in isolation. The final step in your Stoic journey is learning to focus on what you can control. By directing your energy toward what truly matters, you'll cultivate a life of purpose and inner strength. Step 7. Focus on what you can control, the core of inner freedom. Life is unpredictable. Challenges arise, people disappoint, and circumstances shift beyond our expectations. Yet, amidst this chaos, Stoic philosophy reveals a profound truth. The path to peace lies in focusing solely on what you can control and releasing everything else. Epictetus captured this wisdom perfectly. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control, and others are not. This principle is liberating. By directing your energy toward what you can influence, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes, you reclaim your power and detach from the burden of uncontrollable events. When we dwell on things beyond our control, we give them power over us. Whether it's a delayed flight, a critical remark, or the outcome of a risky decision, frustration stems not from the event itself, but from our futile attempt to change what cannot be changed. Imagine you've worked tirelessly on a project only for your efforts to be criticized unfairly. You could let that criticism consume you, questioning your worth and replaying the moment in your mind. Or you could focus on your response, learning from constructive feedback while dismissing unhelpful negativity. The choice to focus on your reaction rather than external judgment is what empowers you to move forward with clarity. Picture an archer aiming at a distant target. They can control their stance, their focus, and the strength of their pull, but not the wind or the target's movement. A wise archer doesn't waste energy blaming the wind. They concentrate on perfecting their aim. Similarly, in life, you control your effort, preparation, and mindset, not the outcomes. Peace comes from knowing you've done your part to the best of your ability. How to focus on what you can control. 1. Identify the controllable. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what aspects of this situation can I influence? 2. Let go of the rest. Actively release concerns about outcomes or others' opinions. Remind yourself, this is beyond me and that's okay. 3. Practice mindfulness. Ground yourself in the present moment. Instead of worrying about what if, focus on what now. 4. Reflect on your efforts. At the end of each day, assess how you managed your responses rather than fixating on external results. How often do you exhaust yourself trying to control the uncontrollable? What could you achieve if you redirected that energy toward improving your actions and mindset? By mastering the art of focusing on what you can control, you unlock the essence of Stoic wisdom. This final step ties together all the principles we've explored: embracing life's flow, understanding others, setting boundaries, and letting go of anger and resentment. With this foundation, you're equipped to face life with strength, calm, and an unshakable sense of purpose. Life is an unpredictable journey filled with moments that test our patience, challenge our resilience, and push us to our limits. But as Stoic philosophy teaches, true freedom and peace are not found in controlling external events. They lie in mastering your inner world. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These timeless words remind us that the key to a meaningful life doesn't depend on what happens to us, but how we choose to respond. Through the 7 Stoic principles, embracing life's flow, understanding others, setting boundaries, recognizing perception's role in anger, practicing compassion, letting go of resentment, and focusing on what you can control, you've discovered a path to emotional mastery. These aren't abstract ideas, they're practical tools you can apply to every interaction, challenge, and decision. Imagine how your life would change if you lived with this wisdom at your core. How much calmer would your mind be? How much stronger would your relationships become? How much lighter would you feel, free from the weight of anger, frustration, and anxiety? The path to inner peace isn't achieved overnight. It's a daily practice, a commitment to growth, and a journey of self-discovery. Start small. Choose one principle to focus on this week. Perhaps you'll begin by pausing to breathe when anger arises, or by practicing compassion towards someone who frustrates you. Every small step you take is a victory, a reminder that you're in control of your emotions, your actions, and ultimately, your life. Picture your mind as a still lake. When life's challenges throw stones into the water, ripples form, but the lake eventually settles. Your goal isn't to stop the stones from being thrown, it's to cultivate a mind so steady that it returns to calm effortlessly. What's one area of your life where you've been trying to control the uncontrollable? What might shift if you let go and focused on mastering your response instead? Your journey toward inner peace doesn't end here, it's just beginning. The principles of Stoicism offer endless wisdom, but their true power lies in practice. Embrace life's challenges as opportunities to grow and remind yourself that with every choice, you're building a foundation of resilience and peace.